Hey guys, it's Nick. I'm here on Clearwater Beach on Monday, August 9th. It's about 9:25 in the morning, and I want to come down here because I've been out of town for a few weeks, and I want to see what the situation is like here at the beach because of all the stories about red tide and fish washing up on the shore and everything. So let's go have a look to see what it really looks like right now. So I'm really surprised, for one thing, is that there's a lot of people here early in the morning, way more than I thought would be. I'm not a early riser. I usually come to the beach at like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So to see all these people here this early in the morning is very surprising. So let's see what this water looks like. It looks pretty clear to me, and the temperature is awesome. Perfect weather right now, and so the water is really clear, and I don't see any fish washed up on the shore or anything. However, my friend who's visiting came here early in the morning with his daughter, and I think it was around 6, 7 o'clock, and they did see some dead fish along the shore, but it wasn't anything like what I filmed about a month ago in downtown St. Petersburg, where the little downtown beach was littered with fish and stuff like that. It was more like a few small fish scattered here and there, and so they have a cleanup crew that cleans the beaches every morning, I guess, and so they pick up whatever stragglers there are around here before most people get to the beach. The other thing is that the red tide definitely causes people irritation in their, respiratory problems and stuff like that. And when I was downtown St. Pete like a month ago, I felt it in the air. I felt my throat get scratchy and itchy, and I had a little bit of a cough or whatever just from standing on the beach there. Right now here, I don't feel any of that. So I see no fish. I don't feel it in the air. So it looks pretty clean to me. And that's how I would gauge, or that's how I would advise to you, is that if I would swim here right now, then to me that's it's a pretty nice beach, and I would swim here right now if I came out here to swim and I had my bathing suit. Matter of fact, I'd probably jump in right now because it feels like it's already in the high 80s, maybe 90 by now, like 9:30 in the morning. So yeah, everything looks like it should be, like it's normal. So if you see stories about red tide and stuff like that, I mean, even I was kind of curious because I keep seeing these stories. I want to see the extent of what it is down here, and right here I'm not seeing it at all. It may be on some other beaches, I don't know. I would have to go check some of those out on another day. But right here, the report for Clearwater Beach is all clear to me. That's what it looks like. So I know a lot of people who are thinking of coming down here. They see the news and they might get scared away, and not just from the red tide, but like my friend's friend who came down here with him, he was worried about coming down here because of all the news stories about the Delta virus, this and that, and all kinds of stuff. So you pair that with maybe stories of red tide, and a lot of people might have second thoughts about coming down here, thinking that their vacation is going to be ruined, but I think it couldn't be farther from the truth. And my friend who did come down here, he's having a grand old time right now, even though he really hasn't been to the beach yet because they have a pool in their place and his kids are liking that. But I'm sure they're going to come out here one of these days for a few days at the beach for sure. Pete, from what you see at the beach here, is it something that is appealing to you to bring the family and swim and all that stuff?
I'm feeling pretty comfortable from what I'm seeing today as opposed to the other day. I think the biggest thing that jumps out at me is it doesn't have that odor
Right.
that hit us in the face when we came to the shoreline on Saturday morning at 7 a.m.
So you did feel something in the air on Saturday morning when you came really early?
Yes, as a matter of fact, even though my daughter's comments were, "Hey Dad, this sand is some of the nicest sand my feet has ever stepped on." Once we got to the shoreline, she says, "Dad, it smells really bad here and there's a lot of dead fish. Let's get out of here."
Wow, okay, so it is a problem, I guess, but it seems like they clean it up maybe once or twice a day. I don't know, at least once a day in the morning, and this is the results. And I don't see any dead fish coming in here, and I definitely don't feel anything in my throat. So I guess it still is somewhat of an issue, but in terms of can you come here and swim and all that, it's definitely a yes. And you are going to come back over here, right?
I'm going to actually go wake up the kids and see if I can convince them to come down to the beach.
Okay, cool. So, so there you have it. You know, this is not stopping people from coming down here, and generally for most of the day, the beach looks pretty pristine and swimmable, and no problem with any kind of red tide air in the air or in your throat or anything like that. I feel nothing but fresh air right here. So I would not hesitate if you were thinking on coming down here. Everything looks as it should be. And like I said, it's around 9:30, and already there is a lot of people coming down here already, swimming far out and whatnot. So people are not worried about it. People don't seem to be affected by it. So I would give this my seal of approval to come down here, and I would tell anybody, my friends, my family who is thinking about coming down here, not to hesitate and come on down, and they will have a good time for sure. So guys, that's a look at what's going on in Clearwater Beach on Monday, August 9th, early in the morning. Plenty of people out here. Water's fine, water's clear, nothing bad in the air. So if you're thinking about coming down here, definitely come on down. And thanks to the input from my friend Pete, and he's my temporary cameraman right now also as well. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Guys, just in addition to this video, I spoke to a lifeguard after this, and he did say that they still have problems here. Their resources are focused on mostly Clearwater Beach to clean this stuff up. So it's probably the best beach to come to, and the smaller beaches along the barrier island probably are worse off. And on this day, he said you don't smell anything in the air because the wind was blowing out to the water, not the other way around. So I don't want to downplay it and say that red tide is not an issue at all. It still is. And it's kind of a day-by-day, case-by-case basis on which way the wind is blowing and maybe how much fish wash up in the morning that they clean away for the rest of the day. But in terms of people coming there, he said it's as crowded as ever. And the number one question people ask him is not what's the story with the red tide, but how much is it to rent one of those cabanas. So people are still coming out in full force, and they're having a good time. So while red tide is an issue, it isn't enough to drive people away.